In the eyes of Sebastian Coe, his sport is currently dealing with several significant concerns. These range from new competition forms to mixing up with certain other codes. The president of World Athletics also mentioned the influence that menstruation has on female performance. Today we'll be talking about how World Athletics is trying to bring positive changes into the field, which may make sports fairer in the future. First off, Coe wants to introduce repêchages to track. He has been trying to figure out ways to incorporate better procedures for the inevitable improvement of the Paris 2024 Olympics. One of his first ideas was to add a repêchage round to the individual track events ranging from 200 meters to 1500 meters, including hurdles. World Athletics feels that repêchages would ensure that the best competitors make it to the finals, providing viewers with exciting contests and allowing broadcasters more chances to highlight the sport. Both their broadcast and competition teams convinced them of the need for more programming, especially during the morning sessions. In Coe's perspective, they must provide the athletes with as many opportunities to compete as possible. To him, head-to-head battles are crucial for building excitement in the audience. If you were to miss out on one of the top matches at a later stage of the competition because of heat trouble, it will still give them more content and more time that can be broadcasted. It would most probably allow the athletes to proceed through the program in a much smoother way. The repêchages will most probably prove to be highly effective for the athletes who don't make it past the first round of heats, as they'll get a second chance to redeem themselves. This will lead to raised excitement in the audience with the double round system, as the ones who fail in the first round will still ultimately have a shot at the semifinals. The structure for the games will ultimately include 4 rounds. Coming up, Sebastian has his eyes on other sporting codes for athletics. Coe stated that he was considering the lessons learned from other sports that could be applied to athletics. The Briton who won 2 gold medals during the men's 1500 meter in the Olympics was inspired by the sands of the world ceremony at the surf event. A representative from each country brought sand from their regions and poured it into a single container, symbolizing the sport's peaceful union of 51 countries. The World Athletics president thinks that everybody should constantly welcome new ideas, whether they are for opening ceremonies, sporting presentations, or simply engaging the local communities in the sport. On that note, none of us are the wellspring of all knowledge, and Coe admits that he has a lot to learn from the surrounding things. Learning is a process that goes both ways. Coe stated how there are probably things that people witness at the World Athletics Championships and consider trying out later on. Coe has been especially fascinated with the way that things have been happening in sports as of late, as he attended the World Swimming Championships and World Surf Championships. Just a year or two ago, he also attended a lot of Nordic sports because they've been emphasizing the role of social media to engage the local communities. Aside from that, he especially mentioned the sports presentation, which he has wanted to shift around with the World Athletics. Moving on, the flagship World Championships are already seeing results. The bodies governing track and field have been looking for methods to reach new audiences and revitalize the sport. On the other hand, its flagship biennial global championships produced some encouraging results already. According to Coe, the previous 2 championships in Doha and Eugene in 2019 and 2022 were among some of the best ones when it comes to performance. Coe talked about how they have had the most worldwide championships ever in Eugene, as way more countries have won medals. To show the truly global nature of their sport, we're honoring medals from Peru as well as the Dominican Republic. He talked about how rare it is for a sport to involve that many countries, which is why it is important to cherish it whenever you can. This is how we know that Sebastian's ideas revolve around encouraging and engaging countries worldwide to become part of sports. Not only will that increase competition, but it will also bring sports from all over the world onto one platform. In his interview, Coe couldn't forget to mention all the athletes who had overcome the challenges of the pandemic, as their performances at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo were spectacular. They were better than anything that could have been expected from them, which brought everybody hope. Not to forget, Coe stressed the importance of athlete welfare. The well-being of athletes, particularly in terms of the impact of menstruation on female performance, is gaining quite a lot of prominence in track and field, after 2 British athletes, Asher Smith and McColgan, highlighted the implications of periods during contest and training. The problem has recently attracted even more attention. Coe stated that he has charged World Athletics health and scientific teams with investigating the data that's already present on the effects that menstruation has on the performance of women in sports. This might lead to newer and updated recommendations for coaches and athletes, particularly in terms of how these effects can be overcome. Even more importantly, how can sports shift around in a way that they become adaptive to and considerate of menstrual issues. Coe mentioned how they are a sport based on equality, and it is something that they have always taken pride in, involving female menstruation issues in the research research is already a great step in the right direction. Now moving on to Winger and Siegel's outlook on the future of the Olympics. Max Siegel, US ATF CEO and retiring Olympian and national champion of javelin Carl Winger, agreed that the upcoming direction of USA track and field, as well as the world athletics, looks promising. Both of them were present on Sports Jam to discuss why the US dominated the 2022 World Athletics in Eugene. They also discussed the secrets behind why they had both excelled in athletics. First off, how does Siegel see the future of world athletics? Siegel has always been proud of being a member of the US ATF. He talked about how the World Athletics Global Federation consists of 21 countries, and how the USA is a part of those 21 countries. They have been collaborating to shift the sports around in the USA, looking forward to the growth that will ensue. When talking about representation, he mentioned how they have been heavily working on diversity as well as competition, which is why their representation spreads over almost all aspects of world athletics. As he seconds Coe's vision, he talks about how they want the track and field sports to be among the most watched sports by 2028, and that will only happen after necessary changes are in place. Siegel finds himself very hopeful in terms of the growth of world athletics, but not without reason. He talks about the commendable leadership that they have, alongside the search for better alternatives and innovation that they are constantly involved in. He feels encouraged because of the increasing focus on bringing sports to a wider public, as well as the efforts for inclusivity. All of this is bound to excite anyone about the future of the sport. Moving on, Cara Winger is quite the athlete. She may be quitting the competition, but she has set her mark perfectly by setting an American record in javelin. She shined brighter than ever during the 2022 season as she talked about how she had finally reached the point she had always dreamed about. She thanked the support that she got from her teammates, the US ATF, as well as her coaches. In her eyes, she was leaving the sport at the perfect place, going toward her retirement. She has had to deal with several surgeries throughout her career due to injuries, but she still managed to deliver every time. To give back the priceless support that she got from her teammates, especially the surrounding women, she had been dedicating her efforts towards bringing women into athletics. She has been working with an organization that is directing funds towards women athletes, all of which are in line with statistics. Just like this, countless organizations have been working to highlight women on social media, including them in research, and making it clear to the world that women are an active part of the sports world. Not only are these organizations furthering sports in the general public, but they are also normalizing women as an active part of these sports. Finally, Siegel has nothing but respect for Winger. In his eyes, Cara is a real leader. She has everything one could strive for, including competitiveness, consistent training, and helping develop the surrounding sports. She isn't just a role model, but she has a major cultural impact through her actions. In the end, she has been able to achieve her dream while also being effective. His respect for her is entirely understood, knowing the hardworking athlete the Winger has remained throughout her career. And that's a wrap, folks. How do you guys feel about the revolution of world athletics? Tell us in the comments below. And as always, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more exciting content in the Olympics and the sports world. See you in the next video.